Namaskaram. My name is S. Ashok Kumar. Welcome to my channel. In the last part, I explained about the hypothalamus and what are the hormones released by the pituitary gland. And in this part, I am going to continue the same topic, that is a chemical coordination and integration with thyroid gland. As we know, the important point with reference of the thyroid gland is it is the largest endocrine gland. Don't confuse with the largest gland. Largest gland is the liver. I said the thyroid gland is the largest endocrine gland. Actually, this thyroid gland is associated with the anterior part of the trachea. So, if you see the ventral part of thyroid gland, consider this one is the trachea, anterior part. This is a ventral portion. If you see the ventral portion of the thyroid gland, just you can see the two lobes like this. This is a thyroid gland. This one is a thyroid gland. So everybody will think this is a ventral portion, ventral side. So when we see, this is a dorsal side. If you see the dorsal side of the trachea, you can see the only two lobes of the thyroid gland. Okay. So when you see the dorsal portion, immediately person think that this is our two glands, but it's not two glands, only one gland only. But these two are two lobes. If you see the ventral portion of the same thing, you can see like, consider this is a trachea. Okay, na? This is a dorsal portion you are seeing. So this is a ventral portion, So if you see the ventral portion like this, you can clearly see that these two are the two lobes. These two lobes are connected like this. Two lobes are connected like this. These connected points are called, the connecting thing is called as a isthmus. Now you can understand, it is thyroid gland is not two glands, it is a two lobes. So in the ventral side, the two lobes are connected through isthmus. Okay, na? Now you can observe how the shape of this particular thyroid gland look like. The thyroid gland look like butterfly shape. Or you can call it as a H shape. That is why thyroid gland you can call it as a butterfly gland or a H gland because of its shape. Okay. So the next point is going to, this thyroid gland consists of two tissues. One is the outer follicles and inner stromal tissue. Thyroid gland consists of outer follicles and inner stromal tissue. These follicles consist of follicular cells. That means follicular cells making the follicle tissue. Same way, inner stromal tissue consists of parafollicular cells. First you will see these parafollicular cells. For the NEET exam, the function of the parafollicular cells important. These parafollicular cells produces one hormone, that is you can call thyrocalcitonin. You can call it as a TCT or you can call it as a calcitonin. That is a CT. What is importance of thyrocalcitonin? This thyrocalcitonin is a hypocalcemic hormone. What is the meaning of hypocalcemic hormone? This particular thyrocalcitonin or calcitonin is responsible for decreasing the blood calcium level. That is why this is called as a hypocalcemic hormone. How it will reduces the blood calcium level, I will explain in the calcium homeostasis when I am discussing under parathyroid gland. Wait for that. Here the very important, with reference of the thyroid gland, the important thing is this one. So outer follicles consists of the follicular cells. These follicular cells produce thyroid hormones. Now I can ask, follicular cells of the thyroid gland producing the thyroid hormones under the influence of which hormone? That is a TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. Means you can understand like this. The follicular cells of the thyroid gland produces the thyroid hormones under the stimulation of the TSH. Otherwise, TSH stimulating the follicular cells for producing the thyroid hormones. Wait for me. I will tell you about the thyroid hormone. How to understand the chemical coordination now? You can understand like, for example, every chemical coordination starts with which part? Immediately you have to take a hypothalamus. Okay? That is because that is a master coordinator of the hormonal action. Then hypothalamus releases the TRH, thyrotropin releasing hormone. Where it will go and act? It will go and act on the APG. Then when APG stimulated, what it will release? It releases the thyroid stimulating hormone. What is TSH will do? Go and act on the follicular cells of thyroid gland. Then thyroid gland releases the thyroid hormones. These the thyroid hormones go on to do the biological effects. Ultimately, the biological effects of the thyroid hormones is controlled in this way. Okay, comes to take the thyroid hormone. These thyroid hormones included two. One is a T3 and another one is a T4. What is a T3 stands for? Triiodothyronin. What is a T4 stands for? Tetraiodothyronin. Okay. T4 is also called as a thyroxine. So remember XINE. So with these names, first we can understand triiodothyronin, tetraiodothyronin. Means these thyroid hormones are synthesizing from amino acid tyrosine. So don't confuse the name amino acid SINE. This XINE is a hormone, that is a T4. One thing. Next one is the tetraido. That means for synthesis of the thyroid hormones, definitely there is a need of iodine. That is why whatever the food we are taking, that food should be containing the required quantity of iodine should be there. Because that iodine is absolutely required for the synthesis of the thyroid hormone. Thyroid hormones plays a very, very, very vital role in our body. So that is the thing. So the next one, if you take the ratio, means what is the ratio of T3 and T4 in the blood? That is 1:10. That means one molecule of T3 is there, that T4 is a 10 molecules. That means T4 is a very high concentration in blood when compared with the T3. The next important point is like activity and the biological activity. So with reference of the biological activity, T3 is a 4 times greater activity than the T4. That means concentration respective, T4 is a high concentration than the T3, but with respect to of the biological activity, T3 is a 4 times greater activity than the T4. Okay, na? These are the some important points regarding, you need to remember about the thyroid gland. Next I am going to tell, or I am going to explain about the biological effects of the thyroid gland. Biological effects of thyroid hormones both include T3 and T4. So they both synergically act, together act. So fundamentally, we need to remember about the biological effects of the thyroid gland. That means, for example, whatever the gland, whatever the hormone, if you take, that hormone having the specific target issue. That means if you take hypothalamus, many of the hypothalamic hormones go and act on the anterior pituitary gland. If you take the growth hormone, it will go and act on the what it called as the liver and bone. Like that, if you take a particular hormone, it has a specific tissue. But with respect to thyroid hormones, these hormones act on all body cells. So with this point, that means it fundamentally affects, these thyroid hormones fundamentally affects like the basic biochemical or biological functions of all our body cells. That is why if any deficiency of thyroid hormones get, once the person is suffering with a deficiency of thyroid hormone, symptoms are very severe. The total body cells shows the symptoms. Now comes to the biological effects like these thyroid hormones increases basal metabolic rate. So basal metabolic rate it is increasing. That means it increases catabolism. It increases the catabolic pathways, especially respiration. Respiration is a very good example of the catabolic pathways. When it increases the basal metabolic rate and it increases the basic catabolism, automatically catabolic pathways releases the energy. That means here increases the ATP synthesis or increases the ATP production by increases the catabolic pathways, fundamental catabolic pathways. Try to understand. Simultaneously, what it will do now? It increases expression of sodium, potassium, pampara ATPase. Increase the expression of sodium, potassium ATPase. As we know, sodium, potassium ATPase or pumps are absolutely required in order to maintain the osmotic concentration of the body, as we know. Here the important thing is, in order to function this pump, there is a need of energy because this is an active transport. So that energy is coming from the breakdown of ATP, that is the ATPase. The enzyme causes the breakdown of ATP. So if you understand clearly, in one side, these thyroid hormones increases the ATP synthesis. In other side, simultaneously it is increasing the breakdown of ATP also. That means both function. Increases the synthesis of ATP, increases the breakdown of ATP. Simultaneously, because of the synthesis and breakdown simultaneously occurring, some amount of energy is getting lost. Understanding? Because simultaneously in our body, either catabolic pathway or anabolic pathway dominates. So here what is happening? Thyroid hormones increases the ATP production, simultaneously increases ATP breakdown also. Because of that reason, some amount of energy get lost. That energy is releasing in the form of heat. What is that heat is doing? That heat is to maintain the body temperature. That means maintaining the body temperature is one of the effect of this particular thyroid hormone. This process is called as a calorigenic effect. This mechanism, what I said, how it is maintaining the body temperature through losing some of the heat from the metabolic pathways. That effect is called as a calorigenic effect. The next point is that on carbohydrate metabolism. Effect of thyroid hormones on CHO stands for carbohydrate. That hyperglycemia. What is the meaning of hyperglycemia? Increases the blood glucose level. How it is increasing the blood glucose level? By glycogenolysis. That means breakdown of the glycogen, especially where? In the liver. That glycogen breakdown, that results formation of glucose from the liver cell. The glucose enters into the blood, thereby increase the blood glucose level. The next one on protein metabolism. On protein metabolism, thyroid hormone shows the anabolic effect. What is the meaning of anabolic effect? Increases the synthesis of proteins. The next one, these thyroid hormones support RBC maturation. RBC maturation. The next one, these hormones concerned with maintenance of water and electrolyte balance. Concerned with water and electrolyte balance in our body. So these are very important functions of thyroid hormones. As I said, these are the fundamental functions each and every cell carry. So these are some functions of the biological effects of thyroid hormones. The next one is about the disorders of thyroid hormones that I will continue in the next part. Till now, if you understand, like and share this video to your friends, subscribe our channel. If you have any doubts about this chapter, you can comment below. Definitely I will respond to your questions. Thank you.